5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
Podcast today, 55 today, 55 of these in a row, a little bit distracted, and it's going to be a shorter one today, pet, because I'm doing this within half time. I've also got to do the reaction thing for Chelsea Dortmund after this, so I don't want to be like, oh, too much at once. Which one do I prioritize? So like, we're squeezing one in between the half time of the Chelsea Dortmund game. We're currently 0-0 with Dortmund. We've hit the crossbar, if you must know. I mean, you're existing or hearing this in the future, so it's already decided. And currently, the City Arsenal game, which is a fucking top of the table clash. And to be honest, I know it's like February. This shouldn't be so out of the norm, but for so long it's been like City just dominate the league or Liverpool just dominate the league, and then it'll be close with a little bit, but by Christmas it's basically done, and then they just go on and win it. We actually have a bit of a two-horse race here, and to be honest, they've both looked a bit shaky recently. So if United want to start consistently winning, which they've been doing, this could turn into a little three-horse race. Do I think United are really going to get into the picture? I don't know, but it would be exciting. I mean, I've kind of accepted, it's one of those things, like, we're 10th. Chelsea are 10th. It's like we're not really got much to say about it. And to be honest, I don't really want to see Arsenal win the league. I don't really want to see United win the league. City is just that team no one cares about. And although it's boring, they've won it so many times, I would be rooting for City. But they've just had a penalty that wasn't allowed because of VAR and stuff. And to be honest, just because of what I've seen from Arsenal this season, I've had to give it to anyone who's going to win this game. I probably would say Arsenal, even though I want it to be City. But at the moment, I would take a draw. And I'm talking like a City fan. Anyway, and obviously Dortmund. And I want to watch that game. I want to catch back onto that, especially because I missed so much of the first half because my provider of the game was just bugging out. Because yeah. Anyway, what to mention? What should we talk about? You know what we should mention? 80 more years. Get the balloons out. Not those ones. Get the confetti. Party poppers. 80 more years, Kevin Feige says of Marvel. He thinks he can shovel us this shite for 80 more years. We've been going for like 20 so far, and there's already a bit of a burnout. My guy thinks they can go for 100 years until another 80 plus years of just Marvel movies, of just dross. And it doesn't fill me with confidence, especially because... God, I'm so fucking distracted. Especially because reviews are in, I think, for the Ant-Man film. And... because I think some people have seen it. I think it's actually... This is how, like, not as hype I am as I usually am. I would know, like, when it comes out. I think it comes out on the 17th or something in England or something like that. Maybe the 14th. No, it's the 15th, so that can't be right. Is it out now? I don't know. Anyways, the first reviews are in. Got, like, a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I know, Rotten Tomatoes ain't the Bible, right? But, like, to be fair, I do feel like people chat, like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes ain't this, anyone can do that. But to be honest, I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is probably the most accurate in terms of being in general for like film reviews. Because if you got Metacritic, you got IMDb, you could argue some of those are a bit snobby sometimes, or a little bit they can be up or down. I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is just the perfect sort of middle ground. You get the critic score, you get the audience score, and I feel like it reflects it quite well usually. Like The Shape of Water or something, I don't know, I haven't checked this, but they'd probably have like a higher critic score than audience score because like in general the average moviegoer is going to be like, oh, this is mid. But then there's, for example, I can't even say his name, he's a popular director, I should be able to say his name, Guillermo, I've never heard it enough, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. It's just fucking Pinocchio. It's just, well, they're not doing that to Pinocchio, that would be R-rated. It's just the film. We've had like 4 Pinocchio films in the last year. It's just too much. But because this like artsy director puts his touch in it, it's like at the end of the day, it's just fucking Pinocchio. And like everyone like eats it up. Oh my god, I cried. It's just Pinocchio, man. Like, that's probably going to go on the win Oscar. Give it Puss in Boots, man. You cowards, you won't. But I guarantee the critic score. Actually, I'm not sure because Puss in Boots' critic score was immense when it came out. I'm seeing on Twitter, but like the critic score for Pinocchio could be higher, but the audience score lower. But then I reckon Puss in Boots would probably have a higher audience score. Because anyway, I think Rotten Tomatoes actually should get more credit as a place to go to just for getting the sense of how people feeling about films. Where was I going with this? Marvel, right? And I remember when Eternals came out, and I was like, oh, Marvel, they only really put out movies that always get high 80s% on Rotten Tomatoes because audiences just love them and they got the formula bang right. It's like McDonald's burgers. You bite into the burger and when you think about it, it's a weird taste. Like you eat the burger, the meat or whatever, and it's like it's kind of got like a sparkle to it. Like you're eating it, and it's like, this doesn't taste like authentic meat. Like, I don't really know what I'm digesting, but I do like it, and I'd like some more, please. Cheap and cheerful. And they've kind of hit the nail on the head with the Marvel movies, and everyone's loving them, eating them up, gobble, gobble, gobble. And then it's kind of a bit stale. They've left it out too long, not fresh. And when Eternals came out, yeah, everyone was like, oh, here we go. This is Marvel's worst actual Rotten Tomatoes score since like Thor: The Dark World or something. Because between Thor: The Dark World and Eternals coming out, they was on such like a decent run. And yeah, they had some mid ones, had some better ones, but and that was only like 60% or 75% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. And between Thor: The Dark World and Eternals, they never dropped to like below 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, which like fair play, And you can like Marvel movies, you can not like them, you can not be interested in the genre, that might be why, or you just might not, whatever. Pretty impressive. And then so impressive that when they dropped like just an okay movie that was Eternals, and they got that score, it was like, whoa, worst thing ever. And now it's just becoming the norm. Now this movie, I know, Ant-Man, and you could tell from the trailer, it's going to be like, I don't really care for it. I think it's going to be bad, basically. It just looks like the same old spiel, but this time they got Jonathan Majors, and I like Jonathan Majors, but I'm not moved by Kang. I don't care about this whole Kang thing. They're trying to, it's like they're forcing me to. They're telling me, you care about Kang. Oh, you care about Kang. I'm like, I just don't really care about Kang. Oh my god, Arsenal nearly scored. Oh my god, asshole twitching. Wait, 1 minute, guys. I do want to talk about Marvel shite, but I just need to make sure Arsenal don't score here. And it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick. But yeah, what was I saying? So, telling me 80 years, it's like that's like a life sentence. It's like 80 years. Oh fuck, lock me up. That's like they've just given me 80 years. They're gonna be what? So they think 3 of these mid TV shows and three of these films each year now until after I'm dead. Oh, Kevin. His point was, we've had comics for 80 plus years in the past, and I think we can go 8 plus years more in the future. Why not? And it's like, sure, they can. Like, they can keep making films, keep putting them out. But in terms of if they're going to be enjoyable or not, I just don't know. Like, I don't know if they're ever going to be at a point, sort of in between the era of, like, Winter Soldier to Endgame. That's like their best era, probably. I don't know if they're ever going to get back to that level, to be honest. And like, yes, I like No Way Home, which was outside of that era, but I just don't know. You know what I mean? So, oh, what's this? It's a foul. Shoulder to shoulder, he's saying. It does look pretty shoulder to shoulder, but they've given it City. But it's not a penno. What is it? Free kick? Who's on them? De Bruyne! Let me talk! There's a lot of football references that I realise not everyone's going to... Oh, it's quite far out, to be fair. It's not really a shooting angle. Didn't quite catch that. 8 minutes. And I started this exactly at half time, so I should have about, if my maths is correct, 7 minutes before second half starts. But yeah, Kevin Feige, look, I don't think anything should go for 80 years. Like, and I get comic, and the thing is, you can't just directly transfer things from comics all the time. It's a different medium. It's a different media, and it's just not the same yet. I just don't... An ongoing... Think about it. Think about what he's genuinely describing. An ongoing story! Oh my god, off the line. Oh my god, City almost scored. Someone cleared off the line, mate. Oh my Christ. Any team could win it at this point. It's all over the shop. I think... Was it Jorginho? Oh, Arsenal fans don't like him very much yet. It's going to take a while to warm. Oh, like every single City player's offside, to be fair. So it wouldn't have counted. Yeah, Jorginho, right place, right time. Yeah, like a continuous story of a bunch of movies all happening and intertwining for 80 years. One long story, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it just doesn't make sense. It's going to be like, oh my Christ, oh my good Lord, oh my God, Ramsdale's all over the place in a good way. Haaland's not feeling it. Back on track. What was I saying? Yeah, I just don't know. Like, think about how wild it is now. Like, think about how the first Marvel movies went. Okay, man puts on iron suit, sort of in a cave, shoot. Other guy gets injection, he's slightly stronger. Captain America, literally just a guy, slightly stronger than a human, slightly quicker as well. A man with all the powers of a man, slightly enhanced, And now we're at a point where it's like, talking trees and sentient raccoons, other way around, talking raccoons, sentient trees, and like talking planets and like vampires and ghosts and demons, oh my, and just like it's gonna get to a point where just all sorts of shit's going on, and it's like you kind of lose the groundedness at that point. It's just gonna be a whole fuckfest on screen, and they haven't got the comedic chops to make it that funny, even in that kind of arena, or like do these different genres that they claim to. They really have to pivot what they're doing. Like really have to say, you know what, we're going to make some movies that are just 18 rated. We're going to make some movies that are just definitely this. And stop just trying to be like appealable to everyone. Because then you're just sort of bland to everyone. Hit demographics and do those demographics well. And yes, you might not get... Like, to me, it's just like, if you want to do a movie and you want it to have horror elements, don't make it have horror elements. Make it that horror film there. Make horror film fans love it and make it one of their favourite horror films, even if they don't like Marvel films, and you've hit that market, and a new market you've probably not been in before, but they just want to stay bland, and everyone kind of just will watch us and think we're cool, and we'll make a lot more money maybe that way, but it's boring. Here's my tips for the multi-billion pound company or whatever, and Kevin Feige. Tips from me. He definitely needs them. And I know that's the easy thing to say, but hey, maybe humble yourself. Maybe I'm talking sense, or maybe I'm talking shit, but I get to live in a comfortable position where I'll never get exposed for talking shit. Like Kevin Feige can talk shit, and we can look at evidence of shit he's done because he's in the limelight, and his ideas actually will happen, and then before we can see the implications, we can see like the effects of his decisions. Whereas me, I can just say stuff like, this would be a great idea, this would be a great idea, and we'll never see it play out. So for all I know, I can live in the luxury of it being like, well, I could be right. I could be a genius here, and we'll never know, but I could be. And you might think I'm an idiot, but we've got no proof. Whereas with Kevin Feige, we'll have proof, and I'll keep the receipts, Kevin. I'm keeping the receipts. I've had your numbers, your card marked with the phrases for a while now, mate. I've been on to you since honestly, the second Endgame ended, maybe. Even Endgame ended, maybe. I thought, excite me as well with the directors you're getting on board. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not, City. Oh, City, I've scored. City. Who is it? Who is it, though? It's Jack. It's Jack Grealish. He's no bamba. Oh, and he's absolutely loving it, son. Birmingham. Oh, he's out there with the City fans. Which, for me now, that like the chances of Arsenal getting 2 goals to win this, I think are very slim. So now I'm in a comfortable position. Like, at best, Arsenal most likely could grab an equaliser, which would be good for mentality because it feels like they've grabbed something from the game, so it'll probably help them go on in the future. But it'll only be a point here, and ultimately the gap doesn't change. So I would be okay with that. I still want City to win this, but if Arsenal do manage to get anything, I reckon now it's more likely to be a draw. Let's watch this back. Now I'm a commentator all of a sudden. Please don't tell me he's offside. No, Haaland's onside. They play it through to Haaland. Haaland then plays it to Gundogan, who plays it to Jack. Oh, Jack couldn't be more onside. Oh my god, Jack's really turning into a player recently, hitting that £100 million price tag. I think there's something. Is there any anything to be said for pods being done during games, but then you hear it after the fact? Because obviously people do live show reactions, but like a podcast that happens, people should do a podcast. Oh, should I be getting up my ideas? People should be doing a podcast. People would hate this. People would hate just taking a phone out of games, recording. But you go to the game, lapel mic, whatever, do a podcast in the ground. So you're not like listening, or you could do it live. It could be by your connection or whatever, but you record it in the ground and stuff. So you can't just talk in general. Oh, this happened. You also talk on the football, but you're kind of just having a poddy, and then you also hear the reactions for the goals and stuff. You couldn't really have video for it. Like sitting there with 2 lapels, whatever, doing a pod in a stadium. You can kind of do that under the radar. If you're sitting there with like big old GoPros in front of you, people might, and it would be like there's no mount to sit it onto, so you have to be holding them. The image wouldn't be great. But that's not a bad idea. That's not bad. I'm an ideas man. I'm not an execution man, but I'm an ideas man. Anyway, we're about to hit 15. Gotta go back to my Chelsea. Wish me the luck. You guys already know what happened. I might be in tears. But yeah, this was 55. I think this was a good one actually. I'll see you in 56.
Here with the kids, and they had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,